In Minnesota, we're used to fluctuating temperatures, but they can have a big impact on our homes, especially the air filtration system. So tonight I spoke with Josh Savage, owner of Hero Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, about what should be on the top of your to-do list this time of year. Okay, so you have to walk us through some of the big things that homeowners should consider, especially this time of year, for maintaining things, making sure everything's running smoothly.
Yeah, well, this time of year, it's really important to take a look at your outside air conditioner and just make sure the vegetation is not starting to grow into it, the grass, the bushes, and stuff like that. And if they are, just cut them away, trim them away. Then maybe take the garden hose and wash it down. That air conditioner has been working really hard this year, and it could use a little bit of breathing room. And then inside your basement, you're going to want to take a look at your furnace. And it's pretty easy to forget about changing our furnace filters, but these good old furnace filters are almost like a face mask, right? That we breathe through. And we change our face masks out on a regular basis, or we throw them in the washing machine. And these two need to get changed out. And so we recommend changing your traditional 1-inch air cleaner once a month. But some of the other air cleaners can be replaced maybe once every 3 months or 6 months, depending on the manufacturer.
Can I ask you just, we can't ignore the air quality has been so poor, and we're still dealing with those warnings through next week. And so can you walk us through, are there any special filters if you have like asthma or lung disease, or any sort of special filtration that people might be interested in?
Yeah, there are HEPA filtration systems. There are electronic air cleaners, and then there's special lighting systems that actually add ozone to the air inside your home to really clean up whether any of the toxins that are in the air, the particulates and those other things that are very irritating. Including, it really helps to clean up the air if you have allergies, and any sort of sinus sensitivities, and just any sensitivities in general.
With those HEPA filters, because I've been hearing a lot about them the last few days, is that something that they make in most sizes that would fit into like an existing system that a lot of people already have in their houses?
Typically, something to really take into consideration is that the more an air filter takes out of the house, the more restriction it can put on. And the more, to get into a HEPA filtration system, it really is something that you can't just go down to Home Depot and pick up a filter and drop it in typically. You really want to make sure that the system's designed in such a way that can handle the restriction and still maintain the airflow. Because a lot of times people will buy a filter that creates a little too much restriction, and that can actually damage your furnace or air conditioner and cause it to fail prematurely.
Check with a professional on that one.
Yeah.
If you're not maintaining your systems and kind of tuning up and doing the things like the duct cleaning, what are some issues that you've seen homeowners run into if they're not maintaining their systems properly?
Well, if you forget to maintain your system, what typically happens is now your motors and your bearings and the parts that move inside of a furnace start to get dirt and debris building up on them, and they start to wear out and fail prematurely. You'll find that the components just don't hold up quite as well. And then when they start to get a buildup of dirt, like on your fan, it starts to use more electricity in order to cool your home or heat your home to the same temperature you normally have it set at. And so you're going to spend more money on utilities. You're more likely to have a repair come up, and you're more likely to be inconvenienced by a breakdown.
Any other advice for homeowners, especially you mentioned the change of seasons, and I know it still feels like, midsummer, but when we start to see temperatures fluctuating in maybe a month here, what other advice do you have for homeowners?
I always recommend changing out the batteries in your thermostat once a year. It's very easy to forget. And the number of calls we get every year where the batteries have just simply died in the thermostat, and that's something that a homeowner can replace themselves. And especially, it's extra heartbreaking if you go away in the wintertime to someplace warm like Florida in January and have batteries die in your thermostat and your system shuts down and you come home to a frozen house. So changing the batteries in the thermostat is really important. And the other big thing is just getting your furnace and your air conditioner tuned up once a year. And so what a tune-up will do for you is make sure that your system is safe. So we in a furnace in Minnesota, we're burning natural gas and creating carbon dioxide. So you want to make sure that's safely exiting the house. You also want to make sure that your system is tuned up and operating at optimum efficiency. so that every dollar of natural gas you buy, you get the maximum amount of heat in your home. And then the other thing is just with a tune-up, you're making sure that there's nothing that's going to break down in the next 1 to 2 years. And so a good furnace tune-up is going to make sure that your home is safe, mechanically reliable, and as efficient as possible. And doing that once a year will keep everyone happy.
That's good.